So we're gonna pick it up where we left off with Railway Empire 2. So with Railway Empire 2, we did a custom map at the beginning, had a good time, absolutely destroyed the competition, and basically the settings I didn't turn them up high enough. So I ended up getting I had fun with it, but I was like, wait, am I done? So I ended up getting kind of bored with it and going, okay, well let me just start the campaign. I believe we are still on the third part of the campaign. We're nearing the end of it, I believe. This is it. Um, so we went where we started, like the very infancy of the introduction of trains in the East Coast, US. We went to the Rail Mania in the UK. We went to actually this might is this the third? Whatever it is. And now we're in the Midwest, the Great Plains of the US. Which is they're trying to set up the second transcontinental railroad. So we're trying to get all that going. You do have a supply depot in here. Let's put it back here since I keep seeing that. All right. So where we're at right now is we started our own rail from like nothing over here from Kansas City to what is it, Topeka. And we got all that going. We've been ballooning all of our stuff out here. Everything's growing. It's wonderful. It's awesome. And I just got a new business here, and I don't know what I'm going to put there. Oh. Here, you know what you can have? You can make toilet paper. That's what you can do. You can go here, construct new product. The paper of the toilet. Because you got direct access to wood, you're good. Rual, do you think you could try for later streams by hiding chat box? Do you think you could try for later streams by hiding chat box on screen for those on YouTube? So I had deliberately added the chat box for people on YouTube because I do talk to chat and everything, and without it, there's no context. I've also debated getting rid of the chat box. The chat box as well as things have been very torn on because that one thing, it's a good accessibility thing, especially for people on mobile. On the other hand, it has its own, like, there's a bunch of different issues it introduces. And Twitch was supposed to be working on a thing where you could opt in or out from having the chat box on yours. Like on yours, you could go to the gear and like put it there. And I talked about doing that, and then I never heard anything more of it. It's not a setting last I looked. So I don't really know what's going on with that. You could try for later streams by hiding the chat box screen for those on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat distracting for you. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, it would be the best case scenario, and the thing that Twitch needs to do, and the thing that Twitch said they were going to do, is that Twitch would just make it part of the thing that you go in and say, hi, I would like chat box on mine. And you would have it. Alright. Would like to put this somewhere. Literally anywhere. Why can't I put you down? Just as the ground is not suitable. Oh, there's a spot. Good. I just need one on that route. Hey, Paul Harvey, how's it going? But yeah, so it's, do I go through here and around, or do I go... These are all rural businesses up here. I think I just take this through the 4 lanes. I take that straight on through. And then we will have, like, a pair of rails go off this way. A pair of rails go off that way. Yeah, I've had, and I've also had people who, like, from an accessibility concern with the chat box are saying, hey, it's really good that I can read this. I've also had people, like you're saying, where it's, like, distracting or whatever. So it's kind of those things that...
One more train station can't hurt, after all.
Be quiet. But, it's also those things that I've heard just as many people say, this helps me, as this is not good for accessibility. And so it's, like, one of those things that's, like, okay, depending on the accessibility concern, it can kind of go different ways. And it's just not too easy to make happen. Don't suppose the way to make a second closed captioning thing to put in there. Type thing to put in there. So you're talking about like making chat work like closed captioning. If Twitch put it in its own platform, like brought it in as a first party thing, they could. But no, not that I'm aware of. Okay, so that should be an okay line. Oh, I want you to keep going. Maybe we'll do a poll later on stream and say like yay or nay on the closed cat or on the chat box thing. Like actually put up to vote. I'll have to wait till we actually have some people here though. What you need to do is you need to go to everyone who you might think might tune in. Get them all in here. We need as much of Twitch on here today as possible so we can have a proper poll. It's not me trying to selfishly get my view count up. It's we just need to make sure we have a larger sample size. I'm teasing, obviously. No, but actually do it. That Diablo 4 thing, stinky. It's okay. I actually have no real opinions on Diablo 4. I have.
Güte, you should invest a little more in the maintenance of your train.
All right, is there an option to shut you up? Comments by point. That's rarely. That's your minimum? The dude doesn't shut up, man. I look forward to putting him out of business. What? All right, chat. This might get really annoying, but if that's rarely, I have to see what's normal. Is he gonna, like, sass me on my every... I have to see how bad this gets. Is he gonna sass me on my literally every single action we take kind of thing? Alright, you're starting to get there. Yeah, Wichita has that. Is he an opponent? Yes. At least I assume he's an opponent. He's not a friend. Oh, I see. The railway to Deming is gonna suck. Because of these are like tiny road paths. Yeah, that's bad news. That's a tunnel situation. I mean, it's fine. Interestingly, they put half of that in train I can't go to, and then put the yarn on the side of the train I can't go to. Oh, it paused. I have a feeling every single time I take an action, he's gonna do that. I didn't put a train on you. Alright, hang on. Let's go here. Give me, there we go. So let's edit your stops. So you'll add Albuquerque, put in front of Santa Fe, and put Santa Fe. Alright. That's fair. I didn't set my directions on the rail. There you go. Okay, so you have... Albuquerque at the end there. That's fine. Santa Fe all the way up at the beginning. Okay, confirm. Alright, so that should have the giant monstrosity of a rail that goes the whole way around is now servicing more places. Sure, I don't know if I actually want it, but it's available, and I'm going to take it.
At that price, I might have taken it too.
You got a supply depot here. They're still having that problem, so we'll put one here. Okay, so we're waiting for a bunch of those to deploy. Alright, so the next thing is to hook up Deming. Let's actually check our task list. So I have 2 in-game years, roughly, to achieve express route between Albuquerque and Denver. I can't afford it, so get out of here. Sure, I can do that. Let's just get that done. The boom. Denver. Is that really your best route, man? Alright, that's fine. We can fix this. Okay, so let's check the rail directions. That's in and out. Out. That needs to go to rail 3. And that can go to rail... That's fine. What are you doing? Why are you bending that way? Why don't you go this way? So you go to rail 3. That's fine. It can be wonky and wide. It'll still serve the purpose. There. Let's see. You figured out why my mouse is drifting like Tokyo Drift? Did you have a controller plugged in? That'll do that. Is that guy not considered an opponent? What?
A breakdown! You should really keep your trains in better shape.
Why would you not take that? Am I missing something? Wait, no, you should still be able to get over here, right? Yeah, not the moment you mentioned the drift, I'm like, yeah, it's usually always like a joystick, a throttle on stick, controller kind of situation. Yeah, and I put those in a way I can't really fit no in there. So I think the issue here is if I look at this, because I have all these ones going out and back, well, no. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I could fix this. So to fix this, I'm going to put a supply depot over here and over here. And I get rid of this one. And you go delete all that. We're going to pause our game. Actually, for that one... Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm going to make a bunch of parallel rails. Because they're not able to quite map, so they're having to go the whole way around. Versus if I put, like, a much larger, like, splitter for the tracks and all that over here, they'll be able to get to any lane. And it's because it's doing the weird thing where it's, like, I had 2 on one set. Perfect. And so now I can go around here real fast. And just so I don't have to have as many supply depots, I'll put a supply depot right there. I need to get rid of those because they're redundant. Okay, well, actually, 1 second, I have to actually build it. Okay, so now I can set the direction on the rails, which is a part I have to be careful of. So normally I've been going... So it's... You're back. Set those two back, set those two out. Alright. So it is gonna look weird on the mix there, but that's fine. Because I'll go to the split here, they'll be able to map the way I want them to, and that's just the way I've got this set up. It's just a pain point of it. Okay. So now I should be able to go here and say, yes, I would like to have a direct route to Denver. That's what I wanted to see. So now you can grab an express train, set to express, make it all fancy, and that'll give us express status there. Santa Fe has shrunk. Well, that sounds like a you problem. We'll fix all that in a minute. Right now I'm just trying to connect us to Deming at all, and then we'll go and start doing fancy stuff with that. Cool. America driving on the left, blasphemy. Okay. So Deming doesn't need rails open on this side because Albuquerque's gonna be the only thing they're gonna be able to connect to meaningfully. Alright, we're gonna need the topography map here because this is gonna be a nightmare trying to set this up. Okay. So the least painful route will be over here. I should just put the corn in the middle of that route. I'm gonna go through all that trouble. We'll just put the corn here as well. Because like I'm gonna have to like navigate right around it. Your company has received blackmail.
Lucky you. The blackmailer tried to turn their threat into reality, but was caught in time by your security personnel.
I don't consider that luck. I consider that just worked exactly as it should. Okay, so that's the only one on this side, so we don't need to put more stuff there. Okay, so we want to curve this down here. Curve you through there. Now let's raise this rail. All right. And I am making it 4 because this is the path through to Deming. So it is going to have more than just corn on it. Okay, so we've got that one set up. I'm not going to bother hooking up yet. We're just going to pass through to the next one. I guess it doesn't matter which side I put on. There's no resources over here, so we're just going to go and pass you directly through. Same does before. We want it to go through this pass, so let's turn it over here. Tweak it up that way. Alright. So we've got that built. Alright, so we've got the entire pass set up here. I'll still want to grab all these extra ancillary resources out here. We use all that to support growing these. But let's go back up here. Oh, you're definitely going to want a maintenance department. Okay. And honestly, let's go ahead and add another supply depot over here as well. Okay, so with all that set up, the thing I want to do now is grab our railways we have here. We got 2 rails that it... Oh, right, we have the Denver one. I was about to say, we have 2 rails. I'm like, why do I see more than 2? Alright, so we want to add main state. This is not the right one. Deming, put you all the way up here. And Albuquerque, so you do the whole circuit. So that's the express lanes. Change overlay? Yeah. But I think you figured out... Oh yeah, the steering wheel and pedals set up with your computer? Gotcha. Alright, I would like to get the shipping one. We're gonna make a more focused shipping one after this, because like right now this is the I want it all shipping route. So you go to Albuquerque, to here, to Deming. Grab you, drag you all the way up. Grab you, drag you all the way up. Okay, so that is the I couldn't decide where to stop, so I'm stopping everywhere stop. But now I need something slightly less horrendously inefficient. So what I think we'll do... Alright, so a lot of these... I can get a lot of these to Ratton. I can get a lot of these to... Well, Ratton's probably the easiest one to get most of these resources. So I'm going to make Ratton, I think, a trade hub for all of this down here. And then I can just make the trains go this short circuit. And it should be pretty alright. So with that, we're going to put a dispatch center. And we're going to add a warehouse. And the warehouse is going to do wheat. Veggies. Lumber. Sugar. Salt. And dairy. Because most of the rest of this stuff, yeah, like the meat should be fine.
Formidable example of how not to do it. Yeah.
That guy is deeply upsetting. Alright, so you'll want the cattle to Albuquerque. I'm not going to bother porting it through there. But all the rest of these we're sending to Santa Fe. All right, so first step is I can get 2 for 1 here, so we're doing our 2 for 1. You will need a maintenance department, since I don't have one in Santa Fe. Oh, did I really set up like that? Yeah, no, that's actually fine. That's fine. That's fine. The cow's gonna go a different direction. It's fine. I was like, why would I set it up this way? Where's your supply depot? It's all the way back up there. That's actually great. Okay. Then I paired it up with that. Okay, so we've got that hooked up, and we managed to put it through to hitting the supply depot that's already established. And we've got all this. We've got all these set up, so it should be able to switch to whatever rail it has to keep going. So with that, we can turn around and go, okay. You now have access to wheat and dairy. I need to get the cattle to Albuquerque, because I need to get meat and all that stuff around the network as well. Alright. We give you the supply center. Or a maintenance depot. Like, building more maintenance depots than I really want, it's going to cut into my revenue a lot. But at the same time, I feel like we just have to do that. Alright, so you are going to try and follow this pass. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be a very inefficient route because of all the elevation change. But I kind of figured that the moment I was going directly through a mountain pass. The good news is, it's just cattle to one location. So I shouldn't have to worry too much. You need a supply depot. Alright, and you are freight. Okay. So I've got that hooked up. I need to get the sugar and the wood hooked up to Santa Fe. Please tell me we left. Alright, yeah, we left lanes. I also want to get some of this other stuff hooked up, but that's fine. We'll do that next. I'll probably take these two through Thomas Terminal, even though it's like literally a second thing of wheat. It's fine. We're also going to need a shorter route here. So I'm going to make a route that goes from Deming to Martin to Albuquerque to Santa Fe to Raton. And we will add Campertana in there. So it's just the little pass here. And that'll be freight. We'll put 4 on it. That should be good as well. Alright, you want me to connect that up for a cash bonus? That's good, because I was literally going to connect that anyways, so you're just paying me to do what I was going to do anyways. I do appreciate the offer. It does help. Oh, wait, nope, don't do that. Nope. I go here, delete that, start with this lane. Put alongside there. Don't worry about getting up there for the salt and all that in a minute. You will need a maintenance department. Where is my supply, and can I move it here? That's fine. Because that needs its own supply on it, so having it on the main trunk here helps. Alright, so let's get these. Got all that set. And get a freight train on you. Alright. Making good progress with this now. And all the veggies and all that coming to Santa Fe. Well, actually, never mind. There's a nice little glitch that the train is going right through the tracks. It's fine. Alright, we'll go way over here. There's not going to be a good angle for this to do both. You know, I don't actually need... Oh, jeez.
In my lifetime. Our rail network connects to Santa Fe, and my dream of this new route has come true.
Cool. Alright, so we need to get planks and steel and chemicals to Deming. I am producing all of those things right now. So rather than do a whole bunch of logistic network to get that all working, we're going to take the far less scientific approach. Where are we making our chemicals? Over here somewhere. Was it Wichita? No, was it you? No, but you got room for more. Do you have access to sugar? You're making the chemicals. Do you have access to sugar? You do. Congratulations. We need liquor.
A breakdown! You should really keep your trains in better shape.
Okay, so what we're going to do to facilitate this is I'm going to make routes for freight that only go between the places that have that. So there's... Yeah. So there's Dodge to Topeka. Because having Dodge to Topeka there, that's going to get our chemicals. I'm making steel up here, right? Yeah. So we'll put a train here. So again, straight to Deming. Freight. Alright, and you need planks. Was that... Oh man, if I take a Topeka route there, you're gonna... I mean, they'll get everything, which will be nice, but you'll never get the planks because you'll be busy getting everything else. I thought there was another one over here I had making planks. Well, Denver makes planks. With any success, though? No. Fine, I'm going to make a route from Topeka straight over. It's probably not a bad idea to do anyways, but I'm not excited about putting even more through Topeka if I don't have to. I'm going to put like 6 on that route, because... Okay. Hey, you know, it's going alright. It could certainly be worse. Alright, in the meantime, we got a bunch of places down here we could add to the network. Like, really going through Oklahoma City would have been the best bet. I don't really have a good way to hook that up. Where? It's just 4 rails on the right? Alright, so if I switch... You're a direct route, aren't you? Wait. Why are you marked as express? Don't do that. Okay. So you do travel through. What this says, I could shift the wheat all the way over. Because I need to get Dallas and Lubbock on here. I don't really want to go off of Thomas Terminal? Maybe. You have wood. So you're going to need wood, meat, and wheat. So we have meat, we have wood. Do we have meat down? Well, actually, I'm literally going to be hooking up to a place that does meat. Alright, you know what? We're going to hook that up to Albuquerque. Sure, why not? Do you have extra rails on that side? You don't. That's unfortunate. It is what it is, though. I'm not going to fight with it all day. So I'll put you there. You here. Then you there. To put through the 4 middle. Alright, so that hooks that one up. That hooks that one up. Wait, why didn't you... Alright. Because I'm going to try and expand all this anyways, but that gives us this connection. Okay. So we've got that moving. So first, let's grab the train that's going through here.
A breakdown? Could it be that you don't have your technology under control?
No. That's my answer. No. It's definitely not that. Alright, so we'll go from the cattle to Albuquerque, to Park Rest, to Davis, to Lubbock, to Davis, to Park Rec, back there. So it ping-pongs this whole route and just goes back and forth. You need our train in that route. That's fine. It's saying I don't actually need the vegetables yet. I will eventually. I guess separately, I will want an express route. Do you have a service department? I think it gave you one, right? Yeah, you already have a service department, so I don't need to give you another one. We will need a supply for this route. That's fine. We can just put it right here. What is your route that you're not getting supplies? Oh, you literally just... No, never mind. Yeah, you got a supply in your route. You just must have got stuck in traffic or whatever. Alright. So that's going to get Lubbock doing stuff. Because one of the optional objectives is to found more cities. And plus I need to get more people on my network. Hey, so yeah, if I turn...
One more train station can't hurt, after all.
I really despise you, man. So yeah, so I can get assault. Generally just hook up to that too. We can get sugar. Yeah, Lubbock will end up being another hub. What's your income per week? That is a good question what my income per week is. Let us go look. 308,000 and some change per week. Yeah, I'm not allowed to buy him out and get rid of him. Alright, so we have the warehouse here. We can put sugar on it. We'll end up having fabric. Vegetables. Salt will be available. Actually, salt might not be available. Wheat. Meat will be available. Lumber will be available. Okay. Alright, so I don't need any of the rails on the left here. You can pick up the salt on the left rail. You can pick up the dairy on the left rail. Might do something like that. Pass through for a coal stop to get sugar. We'll probably have those connected to Lubbock itself. Yeah, so I think we're taking that rail. So you can get you set up with Lubbock. And that'll be more income for us. So we'll get freight going between there. And we'll get express going between there. Alright, new research time. Should we get more money back from auction? Reliability. Increases the probability of higher quality saboteurs. Reduce maintenance depot costs. We'll just keep going that way. Oh, I still have more left over. We're kind of in the just grab stuff mode. Alright, well I can't afford it, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So next thing is to be getting all these random goods hooked up to Lubbock as well. Then we got Dallas down here. Let's take a quick look at our list. Actually, do you not have a supply depot on your route? Oh, you're literally pulling up to it. Never mind, you're good. So let's look at our city list. Businesses. You're at 100% utilization, so you need to be upgraded. We need more cow. Alright, ceramics factory is 100% utilization, so it needs to be upgraded.
A breakdown? Could it be that you don't have your technology under control?
No, shut up. That the opponent's dialogue is a lot. And it's helpful because what it's actually doing, if you're not catching that, is a lot of games be like, hey, just so you know, your maintenance seems to be not doing well. You should do something about that. It's their way of doing that, but making it fit in the game context. So instead of having, this little prompt constantly pop up, they have the dialogue. But the fact that your trains still break down even if you max out like the amount of maintenance depots, because I'm repairing my trains 100%, which is probably not the right move since it like locks up the when they stop they block traffic. But even then you still deal with breakdowns. It just reduces the odds. Chemical plant, you need to definitely be upgraded. I'm depending on you for a mission objective. So burning all of our money just upgrading all of our businesses. But it just feels right to have maintenance 100%. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, it makes sense. If I'm gonna bother to stop my train to fix it up, so I should specify when it maintains like 50%, 100%, or whatever. I think that's dealing with like the threshold of when to start repairs. So at 50%, your train would stop and repair it. And I'm basically saying if you have any wear and tear and you're passing through like my maintenance depot, just fix it. Like I don't care, just fix it. Which I do think ultimately what I might do is not this place because we're gonna finish this map soon. But I think if we do like the big world campaign thing again, I might take something like this main route, and just have a train station out here in the middle of nowhere that has no businesses or whatever at it. That's literally just a maintenance depot, so that instead of getting them stopped at stops like these two that are all bogged down, which have already moved the maintenance depots off that, just having a maintenance depot that the trains go through to get patched up. Alright, so you're next. You're at 0% utilization. 0%. 100% on the dairy farm. Alright, dairy farm needs an upgrade. And while we wait for that money, I'm going to be right back because I need to use the restroom. So I'll be back in just a minute.
Why don't you have your locomotives repaired more often?
Okay. So you have no repair, but what is your route? Yeah, so you're just stuck in traffic getting to the repair place. So we just did the dairy farm here. We upgraded. Davis is kind of all over the place. That probably does need to be upgraded. We did just hook it up to network, so it's probably taking time to go. What is your route that you're not? Oh, you're literally just going from end to end. Alright, so we're gonna change your route a little bit. Put you in there. So it's Martin would be here. Santa Fe would be before Albuquerque. Radnor would be before Santa Fe. Camp Radnor before that. North before that. That takes us all the way out there.
It seems your trains are not running too smoothly. Why don't you improve your maintenance?
I'm making a route that goes in and out the whole way. Alright, so we go Martin to Albuquerque. There, that's the problem. It's fine. So just trying to fix that up a little bit. So Davis is maxed out. Alright. Remember Davis. But I need to fix a problem I've got over here, which is I forgot to put down a supply depot, so they're having problems. They want me to hook up the yarn to Lubbock. Which is fine, because I plan to do that anyways, so sure. I mean, they're gonna pay me, I'm gonna do it. That's fine, I'll pay the extra for carving into the ground to keep it flat. Alright. So I'll be that hooked up. I'll need a supply place here. And you have a maintenance building? Nope, but you are now. Okay. So we got our payout from that. And I'll still want to connect more cities on here. Where's Dallas? Oh, we have Bean over here and then Dallas. Alright, slow down time. Let me catch up with my businesses. So we're at Davis. We got the distillery. The distillery needs to be leveled up, so do that. We got the Edison farm. It's maxed out. So do that. Got the fashion center. It is on the fence. It's okay. It's not It's barely holding. The furniture store needs an upgrade. Man, that furniture store is making bank. It's made 2.7 million so far. Just profit. Heck yeah. All right, we'll come back to the furniture store because, ooh, that's expensive. Green is fine. You aren't being used at all. King is fine. You are fine. You're fine. You're fine. You are overutilized, so we need to upgrade you. The sawmills are fine. Sawyer's fine. The steel plants are fine, which is a problem. Why aren't we getting that steel anywhere? You're fine, and the weir's fine. So the furniture is the only one that we still have in the network. Why is like everything without oil? What is our situation on the trains? Alright, let's put in our supply depot along the way, because I got one over there, but we have a whole bunch that are getting to around here.
A breakdown? Could it be that you don't have your technology under control?
Yeah, you're in fine repair. You're in low repair. Put a maintenance depot here along the way. That should help. You have no maintenance whatsoever. Put one here along the route. Alright. Residual value when you get replaced all locomotives. We don't care about that. Reduce the charge of personnel well-being. Yup. Oh, I just realized. I started these notifications on my mind. I was thinking delete was delete the business or whatever. I don't know why my brain went there. So let's clear out these things where it's like, you've acquired this business. You acquired this business. Yeah, it's high incline. Okay. And you should get here. There's a maintenance depot there, and that should get you fixed up. Santa Fe is growing. Let's see, you've been playing this quite a few times now. I take it you'd recommend this for being a good game? Yes. The stance I've taken is I really enjoy the game. I do say it's a good game. I would say it is worth its price tag. However, I would also say it can be kind of a hard sell because it does have a pretty significant price tag of, okay, it's worth its price tag, but there's also a lot of other games you could get as well. All right, so we already have that. It's just literally the traffic's backing up in Topeka because I have way too much going through Topeka. And what is this monstrosity happening on here? You've got some rails that have high utilization and some that like no one uses at all. Like that's one thing I find weird on the route. So it's like, 35% utilization, 39% utilization, and then like a whole lot, not much. I can try making the bypass things like I tried to do before that caused us problems. So like approaching this, let's experiment. So if I want to make a bypass, so the hope would be you'd switch over. They say, it's blocked, and you'd switch through there. It could be it's just too close to do that right now. Let's see if the next train does bypass it. It seems like it just automatically, like, you look at this, it puts 30 in that, and, like, nothing on these other two. But if I look at the direction of the rails, they're the same direction. So, if it went on this rail, it's only used by one train, from the looks of it. If you're only used by one train, that's fine. That one has a 70%, 78% utilization. So for Albuquerque to Deming, that's the one that has the most trains going on this rail. Let's see if I can't shift it off that rail to make room. So if we look at the route here, I've got 2 lanes going that way. All right, so grab this one that's at 73%, Albuquerque to Deming. Edit the route. So from Topeka to Edison, I'm going to add a waypoint in here that says, get the expletive off of that rail and put it there. So where's the Topeka to Edison? So just shifted it one rail over, and it immediately goes back to the other rail that's saturated. So let's go down here and say, yeah, so if you could go after Edison, go on that rail, that'd be great. Same thing here. Put you on that rail. So waypoint 3, this is after Wichita. Okay, both those are fine. They're barely utilized. That's fine. That's fine. We have 25%. Well, that's gonna yeah, that's a 2 rail, so it's gonna be stuck on that anyway, so that's fine. Alright, so this one's getting pretty backed up, but doesn't have an alternate route, so that is what it is. That's at 52% versus 6. So I can put a waypoint here, and that's after a Chaplain. Then you go waypoint 4. Where's Chaplain? Way up there. That splits the traffic a bit over here. Yeah, 74 versus 6.1. So waypoint 5 is going to go after Johnson Rest. Cool. Then we get to our Topeka, barely utilized. Nice, let's go down here. Yeah, so you had to take those routes. 60% utilization versus 20. And that's after Camp Raton. You're 21% versus 0.3. And you are after Radden. That way at the start? Yes, it is. %, so that's 67% versus literally no trains riding this one. So waypoint 8 comes after Santa Fe. Nope, it'll have to be waypoint A after Santa Fe earlier. Cool, and then there's 67% there, so waypoint 9 is after Raton. Where are you, Raton? You're on here a second time somewhere. No, you're not. Why would I not stop in Ran on the way through? There we go. You're like literally passing through it. So yeah, so I put them on the less utilized rails. 25%, 38%. So I have Santa Fe. This is after Albuquerque for waypoint 10. Okay. All right, so you're going from Albuquerque to Santa Fe. So Albuquerque to Santa Fe. Oh, waypoint 10 needs to be here. No. Santa Fe to Albuquerque. There we go. Why are you switching there? Does that not work? So that's here. Cool. All right. So 12 is Albuquerque to Martin. But not here. I don't understand. Oh, wait, can I just click on it? Hang on. Hang on. All right. Oh, no, don't put a bunch of instances of that. Oh, I got rid of Deming. Get Deming back here on the end. So, where did I click to show that? Okay. Number of wagons minimum. All right, so I could sit there and say use train rails. Marne Station. So put it on 3. What does the check do though? I don't really understand. So we're on Martin. We choose edit. Move the focus on the station and add to the station list. Ah, okay. Okay, so this is something I'd want to set up when I set up the route to begin with. That I would tell it to put on this route. What's interesting is now it's showing more rail setup. Let's go to the other instance of Martin. So if we go here and I say use that one, it's in. Okay. Right. So that's when I'd have to like really I'd want to set up a whole new route to deal with this. Because we have here. All right. So don't screw with it that way. I'm gonna have to go through and fix these one at a time kind of things. Kansas City is shrinking. Don't do that. So basically the issue is I've got too many trains trying to go on the same rails. So if I go to this railway station, 28, 24, 21. Alright, so those are all pretty evenly used at the stop there. Versus this one, this rail down here, the 45, that 45% rail is being very heavily used. I could probably move stuff around to alleviate that some. It's showing all the rails that are using that lane. So if we click on Albuquerque to there... Oh man. I think I've just unlocked an entire new level of science in setting up your railways that I will never recover from. I have unleashed a demon I may want to put back in the box. Alright, so let's go ahead and set you up here. I'm just trying to get more and more materials hooked up. Going through the route at this point, that's a big yikes. That's the reason I started poking it. I was like, I kind of don't want to start this because I have a feeling I know where this is going. This is one of those things that once I open up this can of worms, I cannot put it back. All right, so I'm gonna edit your route, and they only have one route to go in and out, so I'm not gonna bother. So we'll do 2 freight trains. Yes. And I'll click on you, and take your express lanes, and we'll choose edit to that. We'll go no changes because those are just supplies. All right. I need to upgrade.
That price, I might have taken it too.
There was a business I need to upgrade. Which one was it? It's the furniture business. The furniture business is the one that we maxed out. It's at full utilization, so I need to get another level in it. That's right. Alright. I mean, it's worth trying to fix Topeka. Like, Topeka and... I kind of wish I could hit a button and be like, which one of these is being the most overutilized. Like, if anyone's over, like, 50% utilization, show me so I know to, like, route stuff around it. So, like, here we have just 2 rails. It's saying it's at 60% utilization. Can I realistically expand it? Yes, I can. Yeah, so we get more through here. Don't do it that way, it'll get stuck. Alright. Alright, so expanded that one. So big problem is over here. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. Do I have a supply depot over here? No, that is the supply depot there. So what we're going to do... Actually, I do have a supply depot here. Perfect. We can break these set of rails. And then switch those to be on the outside. Is that what I want? That is what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Put those in the outside area. And do that here. Go to that depot. Grab you and connect you over here. Oh, right. There's a spot in the middle. Right. I grabbed it from the wrong side. I was like, why aren't you doing this? Okay, we built that. We had a supply depot here. It's probably redundant, honestly. But I can put it in anyways, just in case. I put it there for a reason at some point. Okay, so that should help the utilization on there. Like, that one's heavily utilized because there's not much in the way of alternatives. Yeah, so that's... Yeah, those actually have pretty good distribution of utilization. Over here, it's not great because there's so many going through there.
Meine Güte, you should invest a little more in the maintenance of your trains.
You have maintenance depot array, so I don't know what you want. Okay, and Omaha has gotten bigger. Does that mean you get in our business? You do. Okay, so Omaha doesn't have much access to stuff we don't already... What kind of business could I even put in Omaha? So you need steel and planks. You technically have access to steel and the planks. So you could make teddy bears. Steel and lumber, you could make tools. You don't have direct access to vegetables. So tools would probably be the easier one, because that's one route from over here. And I'll give her steel something to do while we wait. Alright. I would really like you to, please have enough money. Who needs to when they have teddy bears? The only reason I'm not doing teddy bears is because it's going to be more burn, because if I'm not mistaken, this track... Yeah, so it does go to North Pallet through Omaha. Yep. So you will get steel through here. How is the steel industry doing here? 0% utilization. No one is... Why so, Deming here, I'm supposed to ship a bunch of stuff into Deming. I'm supposed to get chemicals into Deming, steel into Deming, and wood planks into Deming. But Deming doesn't want or need any of those things yet. Let's see what happens if I go here and I say, yeah, so give me the planks, the chemicals, the steel. Let's say wheat, and corn and lumber. I don't know. Because they need to become a city. Where's your nearest source of lumber? All right, so we're gonna do committed routes to make this happen. So you're gonna have a committed route. Just to get lumber. And you need meat, which is already happening in Albuquerque. So you're going to go for the wheat over here at Davis if you can get there. Alright, so we're going to see if that helps. Because I'm scared that I have to get Deming big enough that it wants steel, which would be a very significant accomplishment. Yeah, I do wish there was an overlay that you could be like, hey, the utilization here. Like, here's one to consider. We have that. We have 2 lanes here that are not being particularly heavily utilized, and that's only Topeka. Well, okay. So, the way I could fix this is I've got 2 lanes that are being used very heavily for transit for, it's one route is using it, just one's the express and one's not. So what I'm going to do...
A formidable example of how not to do it. Yeah.
Where was that spot in the route? Alright, so you have Omaha and Topeka. Okay, it's interesting that I could choose priority on stuff. I didn't notice this before. Alright. So Albuquerque has gotten larger. You don't have access to a lot of materials. I really want to push this. I can actually... planks. Because that means if we get the logs in... Wait, aren't you making planks as well? No. So you can make planks here and ship them directly to Deming. Where are you connected to? Hang on. Yeah, so you need a warehouse. I don't know why you don't have one. Warehouse. So you provide to the grid logs, sugar, say wheat, milk. You will also have salt. You already have steel on hand, so I don't need to put that there. I'll choose corn just because I don't know what else. Alright, so that should help, because that'll get the wood to Albuquerque.
Formidable example of how not to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll get stuff to Albuquerque. Albuquerque will be able to get planks onto Deming. We are now getting logs and all that in here. The good news is once Deming... Well, actually, I'll probably leave those on Deming, because we're just going to try and grow Deming, because I'm really worried that I have to grow Deming in a huge way. For stuff going out there. Oh, good. Armadillo became a town. That's good. So how many does that mean we've got? We got 3 out of 5. So if we connect, Abilene to Lobik, that should give Abilene everything it needs to become a town for that bonus objective. Do I need that left rail for anything? No, I don't. Okay, so now I can go to the network over here. Edit your route. Add a Abilene before Lodic. And Lodic at the end here. You're supposed to be express, so don't do any of that other stuff. So none of those are utilized. None of those are heavily utilized. So if we're looking at Albuquerque, that has to be railway. Is that? I don't think we get a choice because it's on that. Yeah, so all that's pretty fine. Then go ahead and do that. And now I just repeat this process because now I need to get the cargo lane. So you go to Parker Rest, which is here. Alright, so you start at the cattle, which are where? So you go cattle, Albuquerque. You don't need to get the capital on the way back, so you get Parker Rest, Davis, Lodic, Albine, Lodic, then back to Davis, Parker Rest, not. Okay. Put some more trains in that. Okay, so it gets Albine on that route. That's good. Wait, you're maxed out? Are you not keeping up anymore? Is that like how much wheat I'm using here? Huh. So you're bottlenecked by the fact that you're a tiny little stop and you need an extra train? And you already have... Oh. Oh, I see. Okay.
Breakdown. You should really keep your trains in better shape.
The chillest of train conductors. Yeah. Okay, so that's the issue. It's got extra stops on it. It's not a one-to-one. And let's go ahead and check these. So you only have the 2 stops, so we don't need to mess with you. You have the 4. You choose any route, so take those 2 to reduce the load across the network. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so that'll reduce the load on the network. Okay. That's about the best you're gonna do here. We can do that there. Let's see. According to settings, you made a train line. You cannot perform the actions at station White Terminal. All right. So why are you trying to turn around there? So cancel messing with all that. Yeah, that one's fine. That's 1 and 2. I mean, honestly, I'm fighting with routes that I probably don't need to be fighting with. Yeah, he's using all 4 ports there. That's fine. Oh, that's right, because they don't need coal yet. So it's like, why are you bothering to go here? Oklahoma City can't use coal yet. Oh, coal isn't even a requirement for that. All right, I see why you're complaining. I thought they needed coal. Okay. So that actually fixes that, because what we could do then is go to this route and just save ourselves time by going here. And so going to Wichita, grab it. On the way back, don't. I got an achievement, traffic jam. Have more than 100 active trains. Okay, I was worried that was like, you've got 10 trains piled up in the same spot or something like that.
Why don't you have your locomotives repaired more often?
Okay, so we're just waiting on meat and wood now.
I wish for you that this locomotive will prove a success.
I have so much money, I can't physically spend it fast enough.
Wie schön! You bought something at auction.
Yeah, you do have a supply depot. Just traffic jam there. Like, what do you want me to spend the money on, game? Alright, you're fine. You are at basically max utilization, even though you are... It's fine, we'll upgrade it. We'll just be ahead of it. Man, you're still at max utilization. Alright, you're fine. You're not being used. You're not being used. You're fine. You could use an upgrade. The sawmills are right around max utilization. And I'm feeling very spendy. So you're fine. You're not going to be fine. You're going to get maxed out. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're maxed out. There, I found out what to spend my money on. All right. Okay. Alright, so we've got all these ones going on. Where were you going that you don't have freight?
Thank you Chillin_Spree for gifting a sub to Ray_Del_Bano.
Thank you, Chillin' Spree, for gifting a tier 1 sub to the channel. I really do appreciate that. Ray Delbano, you now have yourself some nice access to advertising reviewing as well as the emotes. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, no, it's I've been watching like that sub count as like subs expire, tick down, and come back up and tick down. It's not a good feel. So thank you for at least helping keep it in those triple digits. Because when it dips below that and you see it like get noticeably smaller, it's just like eek. So I am noticing that this, alright, because it's the settlement. So you've almost got your meat and your wood. We get Dallas on here as well. It's also interesting is they put train stations out here you can't reach, which is curious. Because I think this has to be the last set of tasks, right? There's only 15% left. Yeah, we're gonna go in 2 lanes. Yeah, they'll be hooked up to Dallas, so that's fine. All right. So much I'm working. Oh, it's no all good. It's all good. That's a lot of people do. I have a lot of trains over here that complaining about supplies.
A formidable example of how not to do it. Yeah.
Alright, and now back to this, which is to grab you, edit your route. There's where Albany and Ludda come in, so you grab Dallas, put it between there, put Albany, put it there. That's sorted. Then grab the express route. Put way over here, put Albany. Yeah, so go Albany, Dallas, Albany, Luddock, Albuquerque, Luddock. You get the idea. Put 2 more trains on that. Put 2 more trains in that. Okay, cool. Oh, we need to change this route. Dear goodness. 90% utilization? Yeah, we gotta split you up. So let's grab the Albuquerque to Deming route. And we need to go all the way to Deming on this route. I would like to zoom in so you can see what I'm influencing. Okay. So yeah, use this one. There's no trains going to it. And use that one instead. That would be going into Deming. Okay, so we switched it routes so it shouldn't conflict nearly as much coming in because we have all the trains just backing up on this one lane. So that lane's at 70%. Alright, so this is leaving Deming, so going to... So we're at Martin Station. So we're going Albuquerque to Martin Station to Santa Fe. What? That's one thing that'll help for one. Martin Station. That should help you at least a little bit. Alright, and we need to put that between Martin Station and Albuquerque. That should split the load a little bit better. We go to Albuquerque. So let's check before we set up any of this. That didn't add new route. Okay, cool. The Albuquerque. Yeah, so it could be any of the lanes. That's fine. So with that, use that one. Okay. Those are fairly okay going either way. Go to Santa Fe. So I'm trying to make sure it's not adding a turnaround or anything like that. Yeah, so that adds a turnaround. That does not. We're all good here. Rand doesn't have enough utilization to be justified taking the time to deal with that. Okay, so that should be fine. No. Albuquerque is used as a turnaround. That's probably Santa Fe here. Albuquerque is used as a turnaround. Albuquerque is used as a turnaround. Erg. Yeah, if I set this up on the network to begin with. So we have Deming. All right, let's start with the route. We go from Martin to Albuquerque to Santa Fe. So that part's fine. So I shouldn't have to use... So let's do this. Untick that for a moment. Nope. You don't have a priority on your lanes. But why are you only as a turnaround? There we go. Okay.
No one but you seemed to want it. But at least it was cheap.
Everything is just getting gridlocked over here. I think I just have too many trains going down this route now that they can't handle it all. It's like this one pass is just getting blocked up. Yeah, so the next map, I definitely need to start from the very beginning, being like, go to these lanes, go to that lane, like be very deliberate in the separations of all of them. Because that seems to be a big pain point for us. So you get the corn and the sugar and all that in Dallas really easy. So let's go ahead and do that next. Just I don't care, just unlock stuff. So you can go here and say, yes, I would like this in Dallas. And yes, I would like this in Dallas. And go boom. Yep. Yep. Do it. Do it. And yep. Yep. Get all that set up. We'll go here and we will add a maintenance center and a warehouse. Now add a new train route that just goes pop, 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 pop. That's freight only. Hey, Seawolf, I'm doing pretty good. And we will need to add a supply on there. Cool. I don't even think we care or need iron ore over here. Do you have, you should have, yeah, you have a supply route, because you go like this. Hey! Blaine has already become like an actual,
It seems your trains
city.
are not running too smoothly. Why don't you improve your maintenance?
Alright, Albany should have a, oh, of course not. It's fine. We'll just go like this. There we go. Did I plug in the long? No, I didn't plug in the long lane. It should be able to connect. Oh, did I run too close to track? Yes, I did. Why are you unhappy about that? It's fine, we'll just redo it. We'll start with the inside lane this time, because that'll be the one that's going to cause us more grief. And this will get us meat going in there, which will be able to supply it to the route. Means you need a maintenance department now. I don't worry about warehousing you. They're just going to go through there anyway, so they don't need a warehouse for meat. That's one of your local goods. Alright, so Albanine, do this. Freight, do it. Okay, so Dallas has got 2 up arrows. Albine is going up. Deming, I really, really need you to start growing, friend. Where's your meat supply, and why is it not already here? So you got plenty of meat there. We do have an absolute colossal traffic jam all up in this place. Wait, why are you over here bringing grain for Topeka? Why is Topeka grain over here? Topeka has grain right by it. It's literally next door to it. Don't do that. I am seeing an immediate problem with the world tour route. I thought they'd prioritize whatever their next stop is. Is it hot in Topeka? I have no idea. I'm doing alright. Yeah, like literally Topeka gets its grain from here. Alright. Why do you have no maintenance? Where do you stop? You stop in Topeka.
Thank you Chillin_Spree for gifting a sub to Tiny_Ali.
Thank you, Tiny Eye, for gifting the sub. Wait, actually, sorry. Wait a second. I misread that. Thank you, Chilling Spree, for gifting the sub to Tiny Alley. Tiny Alley, I hope you enjoy yourself some nice advertisement previewing as well as access to the emotes. So thank you again for the continued support, Chilling Spree. It does really help a lot. So thank you. How is the infrastructure? You take out those sleazy folks who are sneaking in your stuff. So yeah, so they basically have been a non-participant. They still dialogue me, and I'm not allowed to buy them out. So I kind of just sit here and put up with them. Yeah, so I have a direct freight route between the two. What I'm finding interesting is they're not actually carrying anything. He's just driving back and forth. Which is interesting because he should be oh, don't do that. He should be bringing us goods. We're just gonna get rid of that route. If they're not calling anything, I'm not doing
An
it.
army of godly settlers inhabits the West, where once the wind blew across barren land. Change is happening, and it's all thanks to you, my friend.
What objective did I say? Oh, I have a high enough population. Oh, you say you can buy it. When I looked earlier, it said I couldn't. Trading company shares is currently not possible. Yeah, so they're not shipping any of the stuff I need, which I'm going by the suspicion that's occurring
If no one else
because
bids,
it's not,
easy to win.
you know, not doing anything. Well, Albuquerque is growing fast. Okay, what is your route that you have no cargo? Right, so you're the one who's my direct line for wood and sugar, and just because Deming hasn't gone up a size, you don't have anything.
It seems your trains are not running too smoothly. Why don't you improve your maintenance?
A bunch of empty trains going to Deming while we're waiting for things to get set up. Yeah, those are destined for Dodge City. Those are all destined for Topeka. Do I have a route that goes directly between here? Deming and Albuquerque. We have a passenger line that's just the two of them. All right, so new line. Boom. Grab the corn. It's fine. Freight. 2 trains. I just want you to get meat and stuff. Well, that's interesting. So, Deming to Albuquerque. Alright, so that's a ridiculous one that does everything. Deming to Albuquerque. That's the whole package. What? Alright, let's try this again. I'm trying to find... Did I not literally just set up... Okay. I thought I had just made a route that's supposed to just be... Is this it? Okay, so that's the one.
I see you have internalized the spirit of our endeavor. Well done.
Okay, we've founded 5 cities, so Deming is a city now. Thank goodness. Do you have any supply, anything you can manufacture immediately? You don't really have any resources of your own. Well, actually, that's not true. Can't really get this too easily to you, because I don't think I could put the... We're gonna see if I'm allowed to, like, just cut through the red. I don't think I can. Yeah, so I can't put it that way, so I'm gonna have to, like, have it go out and loop around. That's not the end of the world. Oh, there's a track right there, okay. Alright, we're gonna need to move that station. I failed to notice a track right there. Wait, that's considered my track. Why can't I just go right through it? Let's watch Rual. Don't normally watch Twitch, so I found him. Little Colony Builders Management type games. Gotcha. Don't do that? Okay. I should do the inside lane first. That's most likely going to be the one that causes me problems. And then we go right over here and drop you right back down. Build, merge. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is then it can be a source of fabric. That's fine. It's like, you're not gonna have a use for this. Oh, trust me, I'm sure we could figure something out. Make the fabric. Okay. Aw, thank you. And it's to be like, we're declining. Where's our supplies? Oh, it's because you start with nothing. So if I supposedly need this... Well, steel is never a requirement for a city. Oh no, I guess it is. Maybe it's just special for this one it has a requirement. Yeah, it is. Because normally I would need planks. So I have everything hooked up.
Why don't you have your locomotives repaired more often?
Yeah, so it should have the chemicals, the steel, and the all that should be directly hooked up. So it's weird that I can't buy his company. Because it's like, buy his company. I'm like, but you don't give me the choice. Alright, so let's double check. I should have, for Deming, a direct route for steel, and a direct route for chemicals, and a direct route for planks. We'll actually grab the research first. Do that. Seller bonus. Do it, I have the money. Yep, there come the planks. There comes the sugar. There's a truck with, like, nothing on it. Did you not just deliver a full delivery of planks? Question mark? Pretty sure you just delivered a full load of planks. Oh, right. But let's, train routes. So for chemicals, those are coming from Dodge. Yeah, so I've got this route that should be literally just Dodge and Deming. No one else. And then our other one up here is North Plate. So it should have Deming to North Plate and back. That's this route. And there's already steel on the way for Deming. Perfect. So yeah, it looks like all that stuff's set up now. So let's go through our businesses, see if there's anything else. So you're at max utilization for the ceramics. Yep. So you need an upgrade. The chemical plant. Yep. Collins Quarry is doing fine. You're doing fine. The dairy is on the fence. I think you're running out of supply. We have Davis Farm is fine. The distillery looks fine. I have 14 liquor in stock. Like, it's showing us high utilization, but it looks like we're okay. Edison is fine. The clothings are fine. Furniture's fine. The dairy is fine. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, wait, you're not fine. Okay. The quarry is fine. You're fine. It says you're at max utilization, but... Oh, that's because I just bought you. Okay, that's fine. The cattle farm's fine. That's fine. The paper mill is doing okay. The sawmill still does not have stock. I think it's just not getting logs, though. I don't actually think it needs an upgrade. That's not even on the network. The steel plant, now that there's actually supplying something, needs more material. I haven't hooked up the salt mine. No surprise, but the tools we just added are getting hit hard. The weaver's fine. This weaver could use an upgrade. I can't have... Oh. You need a higher pop. I didn't realize that was a restriction. Okay. So. Oh, I need a supply thing here. Oh, I have a supply thing there. No. Need to put a supply thing there. Okay, so we've upgraded all that stuff. That's all of our train stations. Okay, so we're making pretty okay time. I'm not getting wooden planks to Deming. Oh, I have to produce wooden planks to Deming. Okay. Glad we got that corrected. Well, crap. So, you know that business I built here like 2 seconds ago? I was like, this will be perfect. So you can go ahead and just forget that. You go to the clothing store. You're gone. You're instead going to produce planks. Why they want you to produce planks, even though there's a perfectly good place to get other materials right here? I don't know, but that's fine.
Meine Güte, you should invest a little more in the maintenance of your trains.
So now this stops doing nothing as a total waste of time and money. Excellent. Okay, so I think we'll be on track for actually winning this one. Because the steel and the chemicals are things I have to import, and they're already being imported. I believe I already have a good supply of logs, because I do have a direct route from Camp Bell Terminal down to Deming. So that should mean the plank should be all squared away. Albuquerque's population is exploding. Are there any other objectives we can do there? Yeah, so the only one I can't figure out is why I can't buy Walter's company. Like, did I miss the opportunity? Because I'm not allowed to buy shares now. Don't really understand that. Yeah, so you're not getting in nearly enough. So you're not getting your food supplies. Can I make a bypass route to you? I probably can, right? Oh yeah, we can make this happen. There. There. That'll fix your food. Alright. I got a stretch. I can do it here in a moment.
You bought something at auction.
Okay, and you need a supply thing here. Alright. Let's go ahead and do our stretch. Yeah, so the only bonus objective I'm not going to be able to achieve is buying the other guy's business. I don't know why I can't. That's the thing I don't understand. I'm pretty sure... Well, actually, you know what it could be? Is there a territory up here I haven't bought? Now let's see if we can buy shares. Nope. That was not it. And I own the ability to go into every single territory. Yep. Don't get it. All right. Yep, so we're making progress in all of those. Those should get done in no time. Yeah, I guess we just... Oh, was there a timeline on it? No, there's no time limit on it. Yeah, I don't
Why
understand.
don't you have your locomotives repaired more often?
I'm only guessing I had to buy it earlier in the run. Like maybe one of the newspapers that I skipped past, like, you know, law passed restricting, competition buying and stuff, but I don't think we're at that phase in time. It's like around now is the time frame we'd start running into that.
Good, Gott. I doubt that this investment was worth it.
Where was the vegetable farm I just got? Yeah, you got those two. I mean, that's vegetables I could get into there. I'm willing to do it, why not? Is basically saying that there was a nomadic tribe of Native Americans there. And you can pay to be like, hey, could you just scoot over? Which they imply in this one, it's just asking to be like, hey, could you just move your place just enough to be out of the way of the train? That's not how it actually went. But, we could pretend. We could pretend it wasn't horrifically upsetting. Oh. You do the entire route there. I guess that's fine. So I need to put this there. Okay. Our objective's going strong. About halfway through all of them. So Dallas is just exploding over here. You don't really have... About the best I think is I could have...
Wonderful. Your delivery has arrived. These building materials are indispensable to complete our project.
Okay. We have cement. Is there a business I could put in Dallas that uses cement? Because we haven't done whatever that is.
Blast it. The blackmailer was actually serious and sabotaged one of your tracks.
Or is just cement a requirement for cities in general now? At a really high level it is. Higher than we're going to get. And I don't have... Maybe another distillery over here, I guess. Because then we just need to connect you over. Alright, so with that, what we could do is the freight route that goes Foster, we can have that go to Oklahoma City to put them both on the same network. So grab you, edit. I could put that on for steel later, because that would be potentially worth it. So we're going from Foster to Dallas to Clark to Dallas. That's not how I want to do that. So we'll go Franklin before Foster, Oklahoma City before that. Yeah, so that should be goes Foster, goes up this way, comes back. I have to add Dallas one more time on there. All right, cool. I think you just bumped up to a 4-train route. No. Make a 2-train route there. Railway strike. Labor strike ahead. Across the country, rail workers have walked off the job, got into the streets and squares. After the 3rd salary cut this year, the mood has boiled over in some places, and there are already outbreaks of violence. Yep. And meanwhile, we'll make a new route that goes Dallas, Oklahoma City. And we'll leave it there for right now. For the express rail. Came back with toast and yogurt? Nice. I have been bad and didn't actually eat my lunch. Because I'm bad at basic things. What is that? Oh, it's a Twitter thing. I don't care about that. It was a thing that looked like a National Guard alert. I think it's like, wait, what? It's just some stupid thing on Twitter. You should put on your oodles and noodles and nom. Yeah, I'll have to mute the mic for it a little bit because it's crunchy. But you're probably not wrong. I should just snack and all a little bit. How are you coming along? You've almost got your planks made. You're doing one more round of steel. How is our steel going? Why are you not supplied? What route you on, buddy? Ah, you're not supplied. Because there is no supplies in that route. Fair enough. Oh, is that gonna be a problem back? Yeah, that was their shortcut to Kansas City. And you know, yeah, it's the same problem I have. Alright, so you're making our steel. And honestly, you have very little in stock, so let's upgrade you again. What? Why would you make liquor here? I mean, I guess you do have sugar and apples. Okay. Yeah, in that case, you know what? That liquor business, it might make sense. Oh my god. $8 million. You can keep your liquor business.
Deming is being founded seems extremely favorable. With its function as a connector between our routes, the city will have the potential to compete even with giants like Chicago in the future.
Maybe I don't know much about Deming as a city. I do not believe Deming is comparable to a city the size of Chicago. I'm gonna be real here with you, man. I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Meine Güte. You should invest a
I
little
don't-
more in the maintenance of your trains.
I don't see them as likely to be strong competitors for one another. So do you have your coal and your ore? You have your coal. So the ore is where you're bottlenecking. Where do you get your ore from again? That's cement. Where are you getting your ore from? Right here. You literally get your ore from right next door. I'm going to upgrade you anyways, just because I can. Ah, you have a singular train delivering that route. I see. Well, hear me out. Let's have a little change in the route. They're going to have you go directly 1-to-1. Freight. I'm going to put 2 trains on there, which is definitely going to be in the overkill area. Put a supply depot. Because need to get that going. As he made a tomahawk steak last night for my neighbor and my wife and me. Nice. Oi, stretch, stretch, stretch. Ugh. I might actually take up the idea of taking myself off camera for a couple minutes and trying to make some food happen. Oh, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get myself a new drink, because this one's just about gone. So while we're waiting for that steel to be made and shipped down to Deming, I'm going to go ahead and step away and make that drink happen. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, following, subscribing to the Bits, Donuts, and the raids. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you're enjoying the stream so far, and I'll be back in just a minute. Shelby like steps away. Let's go crazy. Yep. All right. Do I have more research I haven't taken? Yep. Unions? Oh no. I made the mistake of opening a union. As the big monopolistic company, that's bad for me. They're gonna be all like, yo, we want fair wages and basic human decency. And I'm like, but that costs money. I just want infinite profit. Why would I show compassion and caring to my workers? Cancel the riot. He's back. Everyone on your best behavior. I'm actually really glad
It seems your trains are not running too smoothly. Why don't you improve your maintenance?
But I am glad I chose to stream today, because like it was very much I was actually like because like when I started stream I was in like really not a great headspace, and it's nothing to do with like the stream itself. Well, why do you need food? Just go back to work. The worst thing is we were talking about I need to stop and eat food because I've been bad about it. And I mean, while I absolutely enjoy this is actually work for me and all that. But how's that steel coming along? 3 more steel? I don't know, chat. Do we think we can manage to make 3 more steel happen in a full year and some odd, like, year and a quarter or so? But yeah, so it's just like it was like stream or Twitch changing TOS stuff like put me in a really salty spot because it's like further evidence that Twitch just doesn't give a crap anymore. Like it just really doesn't. And I get that's a business and all that, but it almost feels like it's borderline trying to burn itself to the ground. We'll see. But so put me like a really bad headspace. I was like, oh man, do I just cancel stream? Like this is not a good headspace for it. It's also the reason why we're not doing the variety day. Is I was like, my patience is gonna be way too short. That I'm not gonna be fair to games. That they're gonna be catching flack for stuff that's not on them. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And so I almost canceled stream. I'm like, no. Like, if I cancel stream, that's gonna do nothing but like hurt the numbers and all that kind of stuff. And that's liable to just kind of exacerbate the bad headspace and that you realize the channel's suffering because you're taking the time off and all that, and you do need to self-care for the record. But like, all right, I'll start stream and we'll see how it goes. But I'm doing pretty good now. Yeah, so I think this just can't get enough wood supply to keep that sawmill running. Can you switch to YouTube Live? I can. The problem is when you do that kind of a switch, you take a really bad hit in numbers. Like if you're going to do like a pivot from, Twitch to YouTube or Twitch to TikTok or whatever, you usually have to either one, be a large enough like viewer, like a large enough channel or whatever, that taking like a 30, 40, 50% hit to your viewership is not the end of the world. Or two, you need to already have established yourself on the other platform. And in that case, like I've been trying to make YouTube stuff happen, but it's not there. I have set it up so I can go and stream on YouTube. It's just Twitch has a policy that I can't multicast, which is when you stream to both platforms at the same time. But I could literally do like a stream on YouTube, a stream on TikTok, just not simultaneously. Like I go like Monday I do this one, Tuesday I do that one, or Monday morning I do this one, and then Monday evening I do that one. I just can't overlap. You just keep shrinking, friend. Do I have corn I can get you easily? What's the exclusivity? 24 hours. So the exclusivity, I can do a stream and then post it on YouTube like once I'm past 24 hours. As far as live content, it's as long as I'm not doing this like if I play it on Twitch.
There
Never
are the
mind.
materials I ordered. I was wondering already.
You've done it. America's second transcontinental railroad is now complete. As it says in the Psalms, let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
I'm ready to be
I
done
must
with this
admit,
guy.
I've heard many stories about your abilities, but the reality makes them all pale in comparison. I'm deeply in your debt.
Despite the struggles, the mountains, and the inhospitable terrain, a second transcontinental rail link had been created. Where herds of buffalo had once grazed, fields of wheat now blew in the wind, the Santa Fe route had permanently changed the face of the landscape. The Wild West was about to be tamed. Two giants had once joined hands in Deming, but in the end, both were dissatisfied with the result. A separation was inevitable. The Santa Fe Company would reach Los Angeles in 1887, and the Southern Pacific also began to rededicate itself to the realization of its Sunset route.
Okay. So go west. So before we go to the next chapter, I want to take 2 seconds. Will you let me buy the other company? No. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Next chapter. And I answered question in a moment, sorry.
One of the main opponents of my dream that night was the manufacturer. I knew I could not underestimate her. During my time in America, I had seen what industrialists like her could accomplish. The Southern Pacific Mammoth Transcontinental Project was to connect San Francisco with New Orleans. To complete the final piece, the Southern Pacific had bought out a local railroad company, the Texas and New Orleans Railroad. During the Civil War, the Texas and New Orleans had provided a vital supply route. Now, nearly a decade later, however, its network was dilapidated and nearly unusable. If the Southern Pacific wanted to cross the Louisiana swamps, it would have to find the right investor to do it.
You sure took your time getting here. I don't tolerate sloppiness like that in my company. Now you work for Collis Potter Huntington, and I didn't help create the first 2 transcontinental railroad routes by ever allowing mediocrity. We will make history. After all, I didn't buy up the Texas and New Orleans Railroad for the hell of it. When we're done here, a single railroad will stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific, the first of its kind. I shall call it the Sunset Route. Your job will be to take care of the last stretch of the route, the heart of it, so to speak, from Austin to the mouth of the Mississippi. I have a huge project to oversee, so I'll give you plenty of elbow room. The Texas and New Orleans is a shadow of what it once was. The old glory has sunk into the swamp, and only East Texas has a small remnant left. This is where you start. Create a foundation for us to build on.
Okay. But yeah. So with the exclusivity thing on Twitch, the only thing where there's a 24-hour cooldown is basically the recording of what I put on Twitch. So if I could play RimWorld on Twitch and then turn around and play the same run of RimWorld on YouTube, and that would be fine. But I can't take the VOD from the part I played on Twitch and put it on YouTube for 24 hours. So I can literally do that kind of stuff. It's only if I were to take the actual recording from Twitch and try and put it on YouTube, I'm supposed to wait 24 hours. I actually haven't heard of them enforcing that, but I still adhere because all it takes is for one day for them to go, all right, we're enforcing it now, and then suddenly your channel's suspended. So you obey the rules. All right, so basically, regions-wise, they let me get pretty far up here, actually. Yeah, so let me get up to Oklahoma. Oh, they're gonna actually let me get as far as North Florida? Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, what'll probably happen, now I think about it, is what they'll likely do is later in the mission, I will connect this up. Alright. So we're starting, we have connected Houston to, is that Beaumont? Or Beaumont? However you say that. And you got a bunch of busted up rails here. You want me to connect this, but you're going to make me charge. How much is that to get? That's not that bad. We get that immediately because I'm going to get 2 payouts. Those are much lower payouts than we've gotten the last time for doing these connections. Gonna buy out this route. Alright, so what even are my mission? Connect 5 rural businesses to your rail network. Reach 90,000. Okay, so it's literally just build up the region. Oh, what was the hint it was giving me? It was giving me a hint. Cities in Austin and Houston and Beaumont are part of this region. Yeah, so it's saying these 3 are the cities I care about. So I think my intent is I'm going to make a route that goes through there. and then we'll pick up the supplies. So we'll have 4 lanes that go through this set of cities, and then we'll have all the supplies get put on that. But first, get these out of here. We gotta redo these also. The train stations are fine. No, they're not. Destroy it all, burn it all to the ground, all of it. Raise the place. We're starting fresh. All right. So the plan is we start here. You get a railway station turned about like that. Why can't I put you there? Oh, there's another building there? You're not... That's annoying. I want to put it, like, right next to this building, but it's like, nope, you're too far away from the town. Oh, never mind. Alright, so that's fine. I can live with it on the other side. I want it in that side on the north, but that's okay. I can deal. Alright, so now with Houston, you're going to be connecting to there. So go ahead and do this. There you connect those two first. It's actually... Yeah, so very low earthworks, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got those two connected. Alright. And I think I will make Houston the distribution center for here. So you're going to get a maintenance depot and a warehouse. And inside your warehouse, you're going to have that. They have the wheat. They have the sugar. You provide beer locally. You'll end up needing to warehouse logs. Corn. The cattle will directly connect to Austin and San Antonio. For the time being, I'll add meat onto you. No, we won't, because that's on the direct route. It's fine. All right, so we've got all that. We will need a train for this. So let's see. So we have the Mastodon for freight. So right now, I don't need to worry about freight for those. We'll have... Because right now, there's not going to be much shipped between them. Because they both make beer. They haven't got stuff set up for that. So set up the express route for you first. Put 2 trains on that route. And let's go here. You're going to take 3 and 5. Sorry, you're going to take 3 for this stop. No, we'll have the express route, choose 4. And you choose 4 on the other side. So in the center 2 lanes. Alright, so I need wheat, because that's going to support their businesses. Now, I might actually make that ping pong between both of them. Since they're both right now have breweries. That'll save a little bit of, stress on that connection. What is your... Oh. No, that's... Why are you giving me an attitude on that? Let's change this to... Hug that. And now go for it. Alright. You've got that set up. And you've got that. And you've got this. Cool. So this will be a freight only route. That just ping-pongs back and forth. So you'll be a Mastodon. I think just one train will be good enough for now. Alright. Yes. Oh, and one thing I meant to do is let's make sure I'm setting this up right from the get-go. So in Houston... Yeah, take 3. Take 1. Take 3. Take 2. So that way this is like the drop off this way, and this is the drop off that way. Trying to split the lanes more. And we can do the same for the sugar, because that'll be a need for both of them as well. All right. Have you touched the new Timberborn update? I touched the one where they got rid of districts. Was there a more recent one than that? The same deal here. Gonna add our 3 stops. Have freight. Yep, no, we did that. Alright, so I assume that's lane... Okay. I may have these lanes backwards or forwards. So this is lane 1 and 2. So lane 1 will be for this to drop off going that way. I'm gonna go lane 1 here. And that goes to 7 and 8, so I'll make it 8 over here. Now we'll go to lane 2. Oh, wait, never mind. We keep that in lane 1. That becomes lane 2. Alright, so it should be 1 out, 2 back. Okay, so I want the really high number over here. Alright, sorry, that's the reverse. So I get that one. I need to fix this route. Because what I want is if we go to Houston, we have it set up on 3. I actually want it on 8. So 8 is our drop-off lane here. The one here doesn't really matter, I don't think. Yeah, so 1 out, 2 back. And then in this case, I want 1 here. To keep the train from having to cross this, like, minimize the number of lanes I gotta cross. All right. So now I've got these ones set up, so at least that's something. The next thing to do would be to hook up Austin. And then we can hook up the lumber to Houston as well, because I'm going to use that as my trade hub. Because I've liked the way the trade hub setup kind of goes. As you do. Yep. All right. So I think you'll be the next one. Okay, so we got a lot of earthworks on this route. Alright, so that brought the price down a lot. Honestly, I can have the one train do the whole loop there. That'll be fine. Oh, you need lanes as well. Alright. I'm happy with that real fast. Oh, do we have supply depots set up in these? We do not. Kind of really hoping I could get that so it'd supply all of it. It's fine. So they have a supply depot right here in the middle. Put the air supply depot. We can't afford it over there. And I have another one I'll put over here. Alright, in the meantime, let's go here to our trains. Grab that route. So if you zigzag through here. Alright, so we're going to add hill stop on this tour. Actually, we have to add Houston. So put you on track 8. And track 7. Confirm that. Now you're on hill stop. It doesn't honestly matter which one I go in and out on for hill stop. That should come back into Houston 1, and that should make that a good route. Okay. Are you gonna be eating dinner or letting Tomb fend for herself as you got finished with your lunch? Actually don't know what the plans. I'm gonna shoot Tomb a text and see if she's cool with picking some up, because that'd actually really be helpful today. So I gotta do that real fast. Alright. So with that, I can go ahead and put our next supply right here. And I'll put one here as well. That should get us wood for using it in Beaumont. Beaumont? I don't know how I pronounce that. Because I've heard that's Bow and as Bu. You don't have a service department. That is concerning. But do you not have a service department? Oh no, you have a service department. Yeah, I'm gonna set it to 90%. So basically, if they have any wear and tear that's beyond like the absolute most trivial, to stop and do maintenance. So you should be able to make money now. Because they have only one maintenance department going. I need more trains on route. There we go. New connection. Alright, so next up would be Austin. I cannot afford to build Austin's route, though. Now, I can also take the bottom 2 lanes and go for these goods here, because I'll probably do that. I'm going to avoid the cattle specifically. I mean, I'll probably put... You know what? I'll put the train station... No, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, that's kind of a clever idea. Have, like, the main route go through here, but have, like, these little side routes to, you know, deliver certain goods to circumvent the major cities. Won't be able to, you know, maintain that for everything. Because, like, over here where I've got Jackson, Dallas, unless I go, like... Unless I just, like, a really weird windy road that we go, like, over here. That might actually work. It'd be, like, the most absurdly snaking around route, but have, like, the 4 lanes just go through everything. There's a certain merit to it. How long do I have to hook you up? 68 days? Not long. This one, those bonuses they're offering are really cheap. It's gonna be really hard to get those bonuses, honestly. How much do you cost? 400,000. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here. This only sucks because I don't really care about the veggies right now. But I don't want to make a route to go around it just to correct it later. Alright. Just waiting for the money for the route. The good news, I have a lot of the base supplies for getting these cities growing, so they should grow. They might grow enough that I could get the vegetables as a requirement. If not, that's fine. Because they're making money, just not super fast. They do an express rail that goes to the middle, right? Pretty sure I set that up. Yeah. They do have like the express trains there. What this will ultimately be for is the manufactured goods and warehoused goods will probably go along this main route, while our main supplies will probably try and skirt around the outside as best we can. We'll see how it goes. More likely it won't be something I can keep going forever. Yes, I did. I was saying that I didn't really have a plan for dinner. I just went ahead and shot a message to Tomb to see Like, see what she'd like to do if she wanted to pick some up on the way home. Otherwise, I'll probably do like a charcuterie style thing. So some I could just like grab and shove on a plate, and that's the prep work. Yeah, so we are slowly trickling in funds. Not very fast though. I have noticed there's like no real competitor rails that I've seen at all. There's just the rails that are falling apart. Did I set this up in a way that we're not actually making money? No, we're making money. It's just not very fast. A big thing that's hurting us with this is both Houston and Beaumont make beer. So there's no reason for them to import stuff back and forth between each other. They're making the same product. Oh, that's going to be really annoying. Austin is directly against an area where I can't build out that side. This is a no building zone. Austin, why you gotta be this way? Wait, did I build you? I didn't build you, right? I can just get rid of you? No, that's story-wise. Okay. Well, that screws that whole plan, because I was gonna have it go and like snake through San Antonio and everything, but it can't go through Austin. Austin's gonna have to be its own separate route. Look, I need to keep growing so your demands keep getting higher, so that I can supply those demands and make money. And the route grabbing the sugar is losing money. There's just not enough. Basically, I need the population to go up so there's more demand. How are you not growing? Aren't you getting... Yeah, you've got your wheat. But you need lumber. Yeah, so once you get lumber in here, you'll be good. Issues with the production. Oh, it's because you're full, because I can't... You have nowhere to sell your beer. Well, I shouldn't say that. You have nowhere to ship your beer. One would assume the locals are buying your product. So as passengers go... Prohibition? No, it's just they make beer and Houston makes beer. So both cities make beer. So there's not a big demand to ship the beer back and forth because they both make beer. So they could just get it locally. Versus if I can hook up someplace like Austin that doesn't make beer, then I can sell the beer in Austin. And then they'll make meat, which I could then bring into Houston and that. And so then they'll be shipping goods back and forth. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll have like a main bus that does go to Austin, so I have all 4 lanes, but I'll try and make it so it has like a switch off. So I have like 4 lanes go this way and it splits off this way, which would be an absolute nightmare in real life to do the logistics, but video game, you know, it'll probably be fine. Okay, so you're starting to get lumber in stock and all that. So pretty soon you'll start growing as well. And we're waiting patiently to get the next rail set up at White Stop. Maybe we don't do White Stop. Let's cancel this one. Instead, I'm gonna make the route that goes through to Austin. And the reason I'm gonna do that, are you gonna actually block me? You are the worst. They like deliberately put this train station blocking your train station, and then they don't let you move your train station. It's fine. Actually, start with top rail, because it's liable to have the most problems in this end. 300,000. All right, maybe I don't do that. Looks like no matter what, I'm gonna have problems. Okay, so got that down a lot. Now it's costing more because station platform. Do I like Fine Spirit? I don't drink much in the way of liquor. I don't have like a problem with it, and I used to drink more when I was younger. But these days I'm not someone who typically goes for like, you know, a glass of liquor, or if I do a mixed drink, usually it's some like fruity stuff because I got nothing to prove to anyone. I don't care. Um, but more likely I'll probably get a beer. Like I also used to get like really, really bitter beers, like really bitter beers. Versus nowadays, I'm more likely to grab like a cider or something like that. The classic, I got nothing to prove anyone. Why am I drinking something that just burns the whole time? And I used to like them, it's just my taste changed over the years. It's not even that I really have much of a sweet tooth either. Because like generally other than like soda, I don't drink much or eat much that's super sweet. And I'm not hearing back from Tombs, so more than likely it'll be like a charcuterie style thing. I may have waited too long to shoot a message over to her, which is fine. Oh, you would like this one cider we have here I work. It's called Incline. I'll send you a pic of Discord later. Gotcha. I'm the complete opposite. I don't like to drink alcohol. Well, and that's totally fine. Alcohol is expensive. Absolutely. Like, if you don't want it, why spend the money? And there's also, separate from that, there are people who have difficulty with moderation with alcohol. So especially like if alcohol problems run in the family and all that, people, tend to shy away from that. Well, drinking and driving is a whole separate thing. Like, if you wanna drink and all that, that's fine. But like jumping in a car sounds like they need a moderator. Yup. Yeah, there's people who make a lot of those kinds of mistakes. All right, so we definitely want to get Austin hooked up to the network as soon as we can. Like right now, it just wants me to connect up rural businesses.
I warned you not to fail me. My tasks were realistically planned and feasible. Your failures are your own. It's time to replace you with a more capable person.
Okay. Your deadlines are steep, my friend. All right. So it's looking like I can't take the time to do
One
stuff.
of the main opponents of my dream that night was the manufacturer.
There you go. So,
You sure took your time getting here. I don't tolerate sloppiness like that in my company. Now you work for Collis Potter Huntington, and I didn't help create the first 2 transcontinental railroad routes by ever allowing mediocrity. We will make history. After all, I didn't buy up the Texas and New Orleans Railroad for the hell of it. When we're done here, a single railroad will stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific, the first of its kind. I shall call it the Sunset Route. Your job will be to take care of the last stretch of the route, the heart of it, so to speak, from Austin to the mouth of the Mississippi. I have a huge project to oversee, so I'll give you plenty of elbow room. The Texas and New Orleans is a shadow of what it once was. The old glory has sunk into the swamp, and only East Texas has a small remnant left. This is where you start. Create a foundation for us to build on.
okay. So how much did that cost? So that one was 180 to try and hook that up. And you get a huge payout for hooking these up. So I think it is one of those things that I cannot take the time to make this nice. Because that was the whole thing that cost me, is I spent a whole lot of money making the 4 lanes that go between here. So for right now, that'll do. I still want to buy this route. I want to shift that because there's no cost to me shifting this. Not really. Alright, so you do want to shift this so you're facing... Honestly, let's put you like here this time. So 1 connection there. And 1 connection there. Oh, I shouldn't have had the 4th. It's fine. And of course, they immediately did something I didn't want to, which is that. Alright. Where's your oxygen not included? I said if we did oxygen not included yesterday, we wouldn't be doing it today. Fine, I'll put it there. I'm gonna have to just redo this later. You in here in order to vote? Yeah, we did oxygen not included yesterday for the second half of the stream. I'm gonna end up redoing all of this stuff. It's gonna be super. Oxygen not included is not included in today's stream. Yeah, we might put up a vote later, but today was supposed to be a variety day once we did the oxygen not included as part of yesterday. But then just headspace reasons, I chose not to do it. I'm gonna have to redo these rails a whole lot of times. I'm gonna be really annoyed with it. Yeah, I'm doing much better now, but when I started stream, I was kind of like... Not like, it's nothing related to the channel or anything. It was... Twitch making really dumb decisions. And then pissing off everyone. Kind of stuff. All right. So it's not how I want to set this up, because I would rather have way more stuff going on. We are including oxygen, not including oxygen. Such oxygen is not included. This nice diamond. Yeah, I want like the main routes and everything going through here. But yeah. Now, it was during the stream yesterday we had like a vote. Okay, so this is the first lane. So use lane 1. It's the only lane you're available to use, so that's perfect. You're going to be freight only. So I got that going this way. There's only one lane here. There's only one lane you can reach here, I believe. Yep. And it's saying, hey, you have just one-way railways. I'm like, yep. The game is being mean, and that is what it is. It's like, you don't get to make this right. We're not giving you the time, the effort, or the resources to do that. So, live with that. Yeah, so you grab what you can, and you come back. There's no reason for you to bother with Sawyer stop on the way back, because you're already doing this. It's stuck to one lane anyway, so I don't need to care about it. Past that. I mean, as long as there's only one train on the route, that's fine. Okay. Spend a whole lot to hook up the two of them, because that should give me just straight... No, we'll do one train. One train to start. I'm going to pull in... Wait. Why can't you rechain there once? You got two rails here that go out and back. I don't get why I can't use 4 and 5. You know what? Why would you go this way? What am I missing that's wrong with these rails? Yeah, they're going both directions. They should be able to go here. Okay, now they're behaving the way I expect them. So 4 for that, and that. It'll put one express rail on there, and it will give it all the extra stuff to get more payment per thing. So that's leaving me with a bunch more money to hook up the next things. So as much as I want to go and grab that to have that go through, that's not going to be what happens. I'm going to need to get my more money from over here. I have to unlock this region. I can't avoid it. So now for Texas, or for Houston, which isn't in Texas, so I mean, sure. We'll just hook that up. It's relatively inexpensive a route, so we'll go ahead and do that.
I am relieved to see that you can probably at least tell a wheel from a chimney.
I don't like you. I So go Houston. We'll put you on this side of Houston. So you go from there to there to there, and then Houston on the end. That's fine. You have to go through that. You don't really get the choice. There's only one thing there. All right. So I need to reach 90,000 citizens in the Houston area, which is also requiring me to do all this. I might be able to hook up. Oh, we have things we need to build. Maintenance depot. That's one. All of that's accessible to everything on the network right now. We will need... Serves supplies to the south route. Yeah, so I can't handle both of them. That for here. That for here. And that for there. Okay, so we should get our payout from having these all hooked up pretty soon. Next up, I want to just hook Austin up. Get to skip a platform or two. Alright, and that puts Austin on the network once we do that. And Austin has this weird thing where they put it right against the edge so it can't do anything with the other side of that train station. I'll also connect Parker train station up to Austin directly so they get the cattle. Which means instead of being the organized thing I wanted this to be, it's going to be chaos, and I'm upset about this. Not really, but it is annoying. I can't because there's no railroad directly in the way. I mean, I'll just put a warehouse in Houston. It'll be okay, I guess. All right. Put Austin inside Houston and Houston there. So it'll be 8 going, it'll be 4 going through there. Be 5 going the other way. And this one, it doesn't matter. So there's that. I am gonna have to have a freight route that goes between these. How are you? Are you should be connected, right? Yeah, you go out here. Build a warehouse. Cattle, this. Actually, you deliver that there, so you don't need it there, this. So that should be allowed to get us through here. That's fine. Alright, so yeah, the end of the year to get the population up. Just need to keep hooking up businesses. If I can get down here... Can I get down? I can't get down there. Man, this one's rough on the time they give you. Because, like, that's in there with, like, $250,000, which would be huge for your success, but you're going to have to skip past all of this, and because of all that, it's going to be a lot of bridges, so it's going to be, like, you'd have to gun for that immediately. Pay the 150 to get this region, then plunk that down. Like, if I can get you to give me my payout real fast, I might try to see if I can do this. That's as cheap as I'm going to be able to get that. I think that's the best I'm gonna do with that route. I don't think I could. Yeah, no, because this is considered the city limits. I have to build a station through there for that to work. Yeah, even if I could build it, even if I had the money, I wouldn't be able to get a train back there in time. So that's a bonus I can't claim in time. I think that's one you have to go for immediately. Why am I not getting this? Oh, because no one needs the cattle, really. Aren't you here to warehouse the cattle? Alright, one thing we could start doing is fixing up some of these railways to not be as big of a problem. You're the far right one. Okay. Never mind, I can't afford it. Because it expands the platform over here too much. Okay, that's fine, just put it back. Oh, they're starving me for money so bad. One thing you do need to do is have a freight route that goes there. Just one train should do. So 3's not as utilized. 4's not as utilized. 5's not utilized. Okay. So at least they'll start delivering their beer to Austin, and then Austin should be delivering its meat over. I don't get why you're not doing your thing. Man, those deadlines are tight. The first one is the big painful one. All right. Yeah, I'm assuming Tomb just didn't see my text. Yay! Beer. Okay. Yeah, and they're bringing what they can. I could probably make this one train that goes back and forth now I think about it. No, I can't. You're full. It's fine. Right, because you do the whole loop and you're just back and forth here. That's fine. Alright, good. The population's going up. Population's going up here. Austin should start getting the goods it needs for its population to go up. Do I have sugar in the warehouse? I do. Alright. I mean, honestly, at the cost of this, I think we ditch this right line over here just in favor of making this line better. And then just having the wheat go here to distribute wherever it's needed. Okay. Did you miss anything? Not that I'm aware of. Alright, so you're growing. Making good progress towards our next objective. I don't know, does it even list a competition? So it does actually list some competitors. I haven't noticed them. Oh, there's one way up here. I don't see the second one, though. We got a bunch of, like, random scattered roads. Or railroads. But I see the one competitor up there. Huh. Okay, so we've actually got some decent money. Let's start fixing some of these problems we've got in our network. So first of all, I'm going to want to be able to have my trains bypass each other when going places. It's so hard to make decisions with this because, like, very genuinely, we're running into, like, lots of pain points due to lack of funds. And, like, all these other ones have the train stops, like, kind of in the way. We can't go to those regions yet. So it's literally just this southeast area is all we got to work with. So honestly, go to the express rail, add a train on it. That should give us more money there. You're the train that goes back and forth here. And you go back and forth here. So the time being, get rid of that segment of it. That'll kick some money back. So this one goes back and forth there. We've got supply routes on all of this. So now I just need to worry about making this route able to handle an additional train. Oh, that's fine, that'll work. Okay. You go here and fix this route to not have all these issues. All right. So with that, I can go and adjust this route. So we've got this route here. Why can't I choose the route to see? It's fine. We'll go here and say, what trains go on your route? Ah, you. You're the only one. Okay. So you start from Parker. The bottom rail is the one we want to go down there, so that's on 1. So Parker, you start on rail 1. So you get to Houston. So in Houston, rail 1. And then we get over this terminal. It is not rail 1 over here because that's on the opposite side of the road. So it's rail 2. You're not part of this trip anymore. You're not part of this trip anymore. And so for this one, rail 2. And I guess if I click here for that on the end as well, I can specify to start on 2 as well. Okay. Yeah, so it goes 1 out, 2 in. Austin's gotten bigger. San Antonio's getting smaller, though, because it's not having its needs met. So I need to get them on the network as well. Which is one of the pain points I was talking about here, is just... have this here. And there. Have it go for the 4 lanes I want. Okay. So, for the moment, what I'm going to do... Do I make them zigzag? That's what I was doing before. Alright. So for the moment, what I want to do is I want to have this crossover to get San Antonio on here, which I don't have the money to do anything with, but I'm going to try to anyways. Okay, so that'd be the route for San Antonio to happen. $166,000. But, it might be a thing where I start having every other lane go every other way. I was trying to avoid that. That way I had all the trains trying to go this way would only crisscross with each other and not the other way around and all that. But we'll see. At the moment, I just need to keep things moving. If I get San Antonio hooked up to the network, then that'll help. What are you waiting on? Lovely spaghetti. Yeah, so this one, they're very deliberately not giving me enough money to expand as fast as I want. I'm down to only 6 months left. Man, they escalated this fast. Make you put in time? Yeah, so the problem isn't even the time side, it's I have to get stuff done quick enough. And it's just real difficult to get what I need out of here. Look, I really need to make this railway to San Antonio happen. Because it's not like you can just buy the rail from, that goes from Austin over and save any kind of money on it. Because that's 400,000. And sure, I'll get like maybe 100,000 back of it when I sell the station and that one part of the route. But that's still more than this is going to cost me to build. Oh, come on. Just give me the money. Let's turn on utilization. Because maybe we can get some quick cash if one of these... Alright. Why are you not being maintained? You just went through a maintenance depot. Even getting the next train so I can keep the supplies moving costs money I don't have enough for. All right. Forget you for right now. Gonna go here. You choose this train that needs more stuff. You get a second train on your route. And we're just gonna hope that all of these growing two marks at the same time will outgrow the rate that San Antonio is shrinking. With enough growth that I can hit the 9. Oh, okay, we're probably okay with this segment. Good, because that'll give us a new deadline and all that. Do you need veggies yet? No, but you'll need veggies very soon. Which are fortunately right next to you and not super easily available. What I'll probably end up doing is putting a train stop here and then routing it through that way. Will be the best bet for fixing that problem.
You seem erratic. Do I have to worry about the success of your upcoming tasks? I would have done things differently, but I can't argue with your success. For now, keep up the good work. Our network in East Texas still needs improvement. If you do it correctly, you can make a lot of money expanding it here. Aside from the initial funds, I have no intention of subsidizing you.
Okay, reach 60,000 Oh, man. Alright. This one is pretty ruthless on their objectives. Okay. So what I need to do is I want to get coal put in a middle stop for Houston, because that's a requirement we're about to have, and I can route that through coal. The problem is on the short term, I don't want to set it up until I can afford to do it. And I don't know what I'm going to need to do to make that happen. That's not happening. I don't have that kind of money. I'm literally accepting anything and everything they offer me. so far as what I can research. Why would you choose tools? You don't have iron available, or steel, or whatever it is. Why are you trying to kill your local economy, Houston? Where even is steel available? I've got iron ore here, and I've got coal on the other side of the planet. Why couldn't you have been like, yo, I happen to see actually there's really not any good options. I guess that's fair. I was gonna be like, I can see fabric. I mean, maybe liquor if you can get a hold of those apples. Well, this corner sucks. Do you even have Yeah, I have logs. Yeah, so you should have made this planks, Houston. Alright, let's see if we can't correct this. What? Oh, don't do that. We have Houston, hook up there, build that one. You're gonna hook up here, and I wanted to do those two first before I touched any of the others, just to make sure I'd have the money. Okay, and do that. I can grab this train and this route. So you go from Parker to... So Parker, we add coal in the middle. Why? Why can I not? Alright, we'll just start the route over. Okay. So we've got Parker. We start in lane 1. So we're on the bottom lane here. We go to coal. Same deal. Lane 1. Cool, happy to see it. I apparently cannot get to Houston? Question mark? Why can I not get to Houston? What? There we go. That's the problem. Okay. Alright, so now I can add coal. Drag it up before there. Lane 1. And then we go to Houston, then we go to get the sugar, then we go back to Houston. I'm not going to mark this one again, that's fine. It could be interesting that what I could actually do is... So we have Houston on there twice. Oh, never mind, it does each stop once. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it like that. I probably need a second train on that route, but right now, I don't have the money. We're still dealing with one single train route going all the way out here to try and cover Austin and all of this. I need to continue to make Houston bigger. So that'll get us up to 7 goods in Houston. How can I get an 8th good? Why does everyone make effing beer? So we can get milk from way up there. Then get corn way over here if we go through Dallas. Dallas also makes meat. Everyone makes meat and beer. So if we get all the way to Jackson, I can get fabric. How long do we have? Not long enough. That's how long. Okay. So if we gun straight for Jackson, if we get that set up, they can hook up the dairy and the yarn and the cloth and the salts and this. Well, actually, no, I can't do that. That's another region. How much are you? 150,000? You're killing me, game. And we already have sugar. See, and the other temptation I have is to go over to one of these locations and just change their goods. Probably go to Houston itself and say, you know that beer thing you're doing? Forget about it. All right. Or actually the tools. So if I went to here, tools. Oh man, you're 1,000,000? Why? You literally don't have supplies. Gotcha, Luxray. You take it easy. Ah, it's so miserable. Slow down to lack of... You literally slow down in front of what you need. Yeah, so I can get milk from here. And then we get over to Jackson and get the fabric. That's 2 more goods. I'm gonna have to get one of the businesses and change it. We can get the apples. So the apples is one we could do right now. Okay, I forgot that there's the apples down there. Yeah, you're also meat. So go all the way over here. Okay. So we can do that. That'll get us apples. That'll be another thing we can make available to the network. And another thing to make some money off of. And I probably need to put more trains on our express route. We'll see if that's getting filled up or not yet. Because it's almost like you need to do some of that stuff just to keep the money rolling in, while also trying to desperately claw over to get these side projects that they want. Okay, do the gridirons. And go here. Grab the train that's on that route. Great. And you need to be in here as well. There. You're gonna have to get a second train in that route. Yep, that's fine. You're literally going to need those apples here soon enough. If we look at this, literally the next, like, 600 citizens while you're getting larger, you're going to need the apples. It's fine. You also have a need for dairy, which I can't get without spending $150,000 to reach it. We already have wheat and all this kind of stuff. Because there's so many supplies on that end, I don't think we're going to reliably grab those and bring them back to Houston. Like, I need a second train on this route, I'm pretty sure. Like, this part's fine, the sugar, it's all this other stuff, because I need to get to supply to these other buildings as well. So we'll plan for a second train. And then we'll check on our express network and see if I can't tack another vehicle on there to try and get us some quick cash. This is a very different mission from all the other ones we've done. All the other missions didn't have nearly that kind of a strain on just desperately clawing to just get your network to hit the really close milestones. Because the only other time we failed an objective in the entire time was it was an objective that I fully forgot was just even coming up. Versus this one, it's very genuinely like pursuing the objective directly and still not making it. Don't do that. I want to see what your current status was. Oh, also, so you're on path 1. Path 1. Okay. Please give me money. Because I suspect it's full up of apples, and it's not going to really have a need to stop at all these other ones. Like, it's going to stop and go because it's required to, because it is technically a stop, even though it's got a full track, full train. Alright. And pretty soon, I'm going to be taking my, my dinner break kind of thing. And maybe I'll put a poll up on what we're going to play later. We'll see. Like I said, I didn't do the variety thing from the start as I figured I wasn't going to have the patience for, when you're playing a new game, there's always going to be, like, the pain points you run into. And I was concerned I was just going to, hit a pain point and just immediately be like, no. Your route has a problem. What route does your problem have? So you go... Oh, your route doesn't exist anymore. Go away. And you're shrinking now. What resource are you short on? Wheat, corn, and logs. So that means I need... You have an express route here. No, you don't have an express route. You have a cargo route. I need you to have an extra train on you. So please give me my payment real fast so I can get that happening. That should help bring stuff on the network. You need another train in your route, but to do that, I need more tracks. All of these things I can't afford. Man, it feels like there was a very sudden jump in difficulty. Oh, that's how we could actually fix this. So pause. Delete this route. Grab you and put you here. Why are you being that way? Alright, so that should make that cheaper. Now I have to go over here and delete that, and that gives me a bunch of money back because I'm no longer using the extra lanes. That's fine. Okay, so that should improve the throughput in this route. Alright, and that means I can add a second train to it. Okay. So the express ones aren't filling up. Alright, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for this part. What we're going to do is I'm going to quickly pause the recording. I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to pause the recording.